Yeah, great. This way we can save it. Maybe some other coaches will want to check it out later. But all right, I'm going to share my screen, kind of go over a few things. This is what I had, just kind of what I want to show you is, how to set up your team and kind of customize your team page on SwimCloud. Have you registered as a SwimCloud coach?
Yes, we do have a SwimCloud. We have a page for Lakeview for boys and girls, and then our rosters are in there as well.
And rosters are in there. Okay. So maybe you don't need to go over all that. Then I want to show you how to set up an actual swim meet, either just to attend or to actually host. And to host, meaning, you're going to go ahead and create all sorts of meet reports. Then will you attend meets where the host team wants an entry file?
So like a file, like with the results after the meet, or
no, with your entries. So the Lakeview entries for, like this meet. How would you guys do that in past, through Team Manager?
I would say ideally like online meet entries would be best. I think in the past we've done like, I know we've exchanged like paper copies at the meet, and like we've written down like so we've done that. And then I think that host team puts them in Meet Manager, but I would love to, I think it'd be great if
I'll show you.
Over that.
That's what I plan to cover. So, and we may just gloss over these first few here. So I'm going to hop on. Can you see the SwimCloud page here?
Yeah.
I'm impersonating, my son swims for Rockton, Hananiga. And so I'm impersonating that coach. Over here, let me just go over what your feed is. So your feed, if you have some club swimmers that participate in things like, we have a video product. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but anytime anything happens to your team, we'll put it in a feed item. Think about it like an Instagram feed or a Facebook feed, for Lakeview. Hey, this swimmer, or these are Lakeview's results, and other stuff will show up in your feed. So let's go to the team page. This is Hananiga, and everything happens here with the manage button. And when you hit manage as a registered coach, you can just literally scroll right down through here. So again, you can set up your address, you can customize a team banner, you can have your school's logo. And then if you guys have your own website, like a Facebook page or Twitter page or an Instagram page, you can put all that stuff there, and those links show up, and people can follow you easily through that way. Next, let's skip over to roster. So here is the men's roster. Here's the women's roster. And if you need to add swimmers, like the way that swimmers get onto your roster is through meet results. Okay. So when a result file gets submitted to us and we parse those results, we match up swimmers by name, date of birth, and all that good stuff, and then Lakeview. So one of your swimmers can swim for multiple teams. Okay, so if there's like if they swim for the Chicago Park District, or if they swim for the Wolfpack, or some other team in Chicago, that one swimmer will have multiple. I'll go ahead and show you. This is my daughter. So down here, she swims for this club team and then her high school team. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if somebody is not showing up on your roster, what you can do is hit add swimmer. So again, you can upload a result file, but if this is a brand new freshman swimmer that's never swum club and doesn't have a meet result, you can add them manually. And so when you click add them manually, we're going to check our database. So I'm going to add this kid. So let's see. Another coach just joined us. Hello, Joseph. How are you? Maybe he's muted here. Nope, shouldn't be. Anyway, we'll keep going. Joseph, we're just going through how to do roster management. Okay, so here's a kid. He already exists in our database. So if you type in a name, he already exists in our database because this kid, he's an 8th grader going into freshman. So just click on him and add. And so now an email has been sent to that kid verifying, hey, do you want to join the team? And he'll say yes. But if you need to add a swimmer that doesn't exist in the database, Joe Bloom, just hit the name and follow the dialogue, and we'll create a swimmer for you. Okay.
Okay.
And they'll show up in your roster that you can manage them. Okay.
And a quick question. So yes. After you add, because I think for most of our swimmers, I don't think they've been on SwimCloud before. And so if I add a swimmer manually, will they then is there like an email address that invite gets sent to, or?
Yeah, I think so. I hate to add the dialogue should be pretty easy. I'd hate to just add a swimmer to this team's roster because I'm playing with live data here, and I don't want to.
Oh, sure.
I just don't want to create something. Another way that people can do it is the kids themselves should be able. Oh, I'm already logged in, but the kids themselves can claim their account. But it's probably much easier if it comes from you. So that's your roster. So after you've had your team meetings, you know who's going to be on the team. You can look at who you have, who needs to be added, and that sort of stuff. Affiliations, Kyle and I have already taken care of all of this for all of your teams. This is the South 1, South 2, Gold Coast. All of the CPS schools reside in a division or conference. Let me show you where that falls in. So if you wanted to see, as you go in, top times, oops, not Afghanistan, United States, high school, state of Illinois, in the region of the Chicago Public Schools, here are the top times for all of the boys in the 50 freestyle for all CPS schools from last year's times. Yeah, very cool. Next, we also have, we break down the Chicago Public Schools by Kyle's divisions that I think he shared. Are you able to see this when I hold it up? Like this little thing?
Yeah, so like the North and the, yeah.
So all that exists here. And he changed the names from last year, but like gold, I think is the same last year as it is this year. So now here are the top times for CPS gold in the 50 freestyle, men, women. Again, it's a good way as a coach and for a swimmer to see where they stack up, in their league or in their division. And that's what all that's for. But we already have that set up for you guys. You shouldn't have to worry about your affiliations. Team records, right now we just support one level, kind of like varsity records, and you can put them in. And what's kind of cool about this is it will track a progression. So if this 200 IM record gets broken from 2013, that one will go down below, and then the new one will come up above. So it'll track it all the way down through.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Next, you can enter your facilities. And what's nice about this, and again, it's just, here's the edit button, or you can delete a facility. And what's nice about this, you'll see when we set up swim meets, you can put in a description, if you know the year built, the address, and a picture. This comes in handy when you're setting up your swim meets, and you'll see that. But I would suggest going ahead and setting up your facility. And then last but not least, you can manage your roster of coaches, okay? It's very easy. You have the ability to add staff by just simply adding staff, or if somebody's no longer with you, just hitting the delete button and they go away. There's nothing, you know, an assistant coach, I guess if they were nefarious or whatever, they could get in and they could change your profile photo, or they could do, you know, something like that. But it's, you know, there's not a lot of data. Like, they can't get at any information that's really secure for the swimmers. We leave that all up to them. Okay. So that's pretty much your team management and how you can do that. So when you view the profile, you know, here's what you see. And then when you click, these are the different regions or divisions. So this is the conference that we're in. This is just another way for people to see the teams, how they're ranked within this particular conference, or in your case, it'd be the division or all of CPS. Okay. And we also rank swimmers. So these are the top swimmers based on, you know, a point system that we have. All right. So any questions on sort of team setup, roster management, that sort of good stuff?
I think we're good. Yeah, I really like what you actually just showed, where you can look at like the conference.
Oh, yeah.
In our case, it'd be like the division. I think that's really neat, where you can like see the
so
different teams. Yeah.
So there's a couple ways that you can do that. See this little thing here. So this is when I hit the home button for worldwide. You know, we get results from, I think that's Portugal, Texas, Slovakia, Netherlands. Well, you can go ahead and set up your own custom region. I want to see high school in Illinois, and I only want to see, just show me the Chicago Public Schools. So now I just set up my home page. These are all the results from the CPS schools. So every time you log in that way. Another thing that you guys can do, you said Lakeview, right?
Yeah.
Lakeview, where's Illinois? Where are you guys?
I think it's maybe try 2 words. I think Lakeview.
There it is.
There we go.
So you're in the CPS North. So when you click CPS North, oh, you guys have done a great job on your thing. So here's all the latest results for United States High School, Illinois, CPS North. So here's the latest boys results. Here's the top ranked teams.
Okay.
So right now we have you guys ranked as 4th. Now you can click on, here's what you can do. We have ranking type, dual meet and championship. If you click on this 122.81, you'll see how we came up with that. This is the progress that your team has made in this score ranking. Again, this would be another great way for you guys to motivate your team. But what we do is here you've got, oh boy, I'm going to butcher that.
Makia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Makia in the 100 free, we didn't have any results from a 50 free, so you don't have any scores there. So if we just simply got some results for a 50-yard freestyle, you get points. And we score points based off of a whole ranking. So it's unbelievable what goes into these things. But this is how that works. And then you can see top swimmers. So here's the top times for the North Division. Come on, internet. So if you're looking to see, you know, for the women, what you need to be set and goal wise, all right, we want to take out Ulrika. Better be 27 lower, 26 high, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And that's for all the events.
And now so those times are generated then
by result files.
So by the result files from the meets that we'll have.
From the meets that have happened. Yep.
Okay.
Everything happens in here based off of a result file or a meet result that I'm going to show you how to hand enter. Okay. And then 2, we also rank the top swimmers within the group. And you can see here where there's like Oh, we only got the top 21? No, that doesn't seem right. Lakeview, here, Quinn. If you click on his, you can see this. These are the performance times. This is the formula that we use. And so it looks like 104 in the 100-yard free gets 234 points. And that's how we come up with his overall score of 218. So the more results that you put in there, the better off this is going to be. And also, when we get into the recruiting, which I don't know if we'll cover today, I think I want to do a whole recruiting thing for all of the CPS students, like a series of them. I can send you I've got a YouTube video out there about how that works, but I can just show you. Let's see, where's his? Well, anyway. So let's see if we don't know what year he is. That's why we haven't ranked him. Got it. Okay, moving on. All right, we ready? Let's set up a swim meet. Couple different ways of going. We just literally set up a swim meet on your schedule, and that's quite simply go to manage and go to meets, and we'll hit add a meet, and then select the date that it's going to go. It's all really, really intuitive. It all starts with this manage button. So let's say the 5th of September. All right, on the 5th of September, these are the swim meets that are already existing in our database in the state of Illinois. If you're participating in that meet, you can choose it or create a new meet. So we'll just create a new meet, and we'll go ahead and who are the opponents? I'm going to pick Boylan, is a high school in Rockford. Boylan High School. The host is Hananiga, 25-yard. Here's where that facility comes in handy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Where's it going to be? It's going to be at North Point Wellness. Create. So that meet was just created. Now what's kind of cool is if we go to Boylan's page and we go to their meets, should be upcoming.
Would it pop up for them too?
It's supposed to pop up for them too. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was actually a question. Because I had put in our meets for Lakeview, and I was going to ask you if then, like, if we had a meet against Juarez and Lincoln Park, did they have to put those in as well?
Nope.
So that was going to be my next question. That's great.
They're already there. Okay. So that's simply adding a meet to your schedule. Now, let's say that you're hosting this meet, right? And we got to set up some parameters, okay? So we go to the manage button. And we just work our way down the tabs. Basic information. You could rename it if it's an invite, which aren't going to happen this year because of COVID. If you had a Meet logo file, you could put in a custom logo here. You know, whatever. If you had other things you wanted to communicate with the coaches, like meet records, hotels, you know, things like that, you can add other files. What we're trying to do is create an online place for those meet information sheets that get emailed out back and forth. We just want one stop where you can go, here's the facility. You'll see where this shows up. So, and then this is key. Who can manage this meet? So because I'm impersonating this Christine Cuspa, who can manage it? Whether it's me as the host, or you can leave it as both coaches. If you leave it at this, then that Boylan coach can get in here and he could make changes as well to the meet setup. There's a lot of times where coaches want to collaborate. Our programmers are very much into open source coding. You know, like if it's out there, just use it. So this is like a collaborative effort where both coaches are going to want to manage a meet. This is like more of an invitational where, nope, I'm the host. I'm going to accept all the entries. This is this. Okay. We don't have results yet, so we can skip those. Live, because you don't have, I'll show you results later, but live, because you don't have a timing system, you're probably going to skip over this. If you did have a timing system with touchpads, we can publish your results live. I'm trying to work with our guys, because this has all happened so fast, with a team like yours that's going to be running swim meets on, what we call digitized, manually entering stuff. I think it'd be great to be able to show your parents the results real time. We're not there yet. I'm hoping to get there. Okay. Next, teams. If you needed to add additional teams, you could do that here.
So I had another quick question actually that popped up. So, so I had manually entered our meets this year. So like, for example, we have a meet against Latin in Latin's school in Chicago. And I think it's like in September. And so I manually entered it, but Latin is hosting the meet.
Okay.
So then would I have to go and change that meet, like from me to the, I think it was on the bottom where it was permissions.
Latin school versus Lakeview.
Yeah.
Right. So we can click on that and manage teams. Are you the host or is Latin?
Latin.
And they're set up as the host.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yep. Let's go ahead and use this. Now, does Latin have a timing system?
They do. They have the touch pads and
they do. Okay. So let's use this thing anyway, because I'm going to show you how to generate your file for this meet. Okay. Let's go through here. So here's a meet. Events. The next thing that needs to get set up in order for you to create an entry file are the events. Okay. So we have a bunch of presets. You could add events manually. What's the event number? And then you just fill all this stuff out. That's kind of hard. Have you ever seen event files? Have the CPS coaches emailed out event files for you to import into like Team Manager?
Yeah, they've done those before. Yeah.
So you can go import. You can import a meet file.
Okay.
All right. Or you can, it's just a women's meet, right?
Yeah, correct.
So here's a typical high school meet.
Awesome.
Right? So pretty well set. So here's your meet, Latin School versus Lakeview. It was set up on the schedule. Now we added events. Let's go to the roster. The next thing that you would need to do for Lakeview is for women, who is attending, right? It's out there a little bit, but you would be able to go through here and say, okay, Surya is, no, she's not attending.
Okay.
Right? Let's just, for the sake of argument, all are attending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are entry rules. And again, because this meet is set up, if we go back to meet details, you set this meet up August 17th in 2020, and you've got it set that you are the one that can manage the meet. I'm able, because I have superpowers on SwimCloud, I'm able to get in here. I'm able to get in here and do this. But if Joseph Santiago, who's on this call with us, got into this meet, he would not be able to manage this button. It provides a certain amount of security and safety, if you will. But okay. So now let's go to the entry rules. And we know, I can't remember what Kyle said, you can do 3 individual entries now?
So now, because of the COVID guidelines, it would be, there's no relays, and then athletes can go 4 individuals, but then no relays for this year.
4 individuals. I've got to get the guys to take this out. We don't have 0 as an option. But
Okay.
so we'll get that fixed. The guys are pretty good. So total athlete entries would be 4. How many team entries in an individual event? You're allowed 3?
Usually, yeah. So for that pool, because it's a 6-lane pool, it'd be 3 and 3.
And again, here, relays, we wouldn't have any. Okay, so these are the entry rules. If you had like an invite, when are the entries due, right? Like when you could set up when they're due by.
Okay.
And all the coaches would have this. And so, here we are, this meets September 24th, but, we could say that the entries are due on the 20th or whatever. And you'll see where that comes out to be, okay? Require valid entry times. So what that does is it forces you to look back at our database. So for all of your swimmers, for a dual meet, you probably just leave that unchecked. This is specific countries, doesn't apply to us. Limit qualifiers to meet opponents. Again, doesn't apply to us in a simple dual meet situation. Do you want to allow exhibition events? Yes or no? Do you want to allow bonus events? Yes or no? Relay alternates, relay leadoffs. That's kind of how that goes. All right, now let me show you how to do the actual entries. This is slick. So you are going to be going to this meet. Let's say you don't have team manager, you don't have anything, but you need to give the people at Latin school an entry file, correct?
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to add it. There's 2 ways that we can do it. You're going to add an entry by the event. So we're working on Lakeview, 200 free. Because we don't have any data on your swimmers, these are all no times. So let's just put in Makia, Sydney, and Madeline.
Okay.
If you wanted to give them a seed time, go ahead. And I'm just typing. I'm not putting the colon in the period. The developers have made it so that I'm just typing 259.59.
Okay.
Super easy. Oops. 301.58. Right? Don't want that swimmer in there? X.
Nice.
If you we don't have a lot of results for your teams, but we would show you what your top times are. You just go down the same way. 200 IM. It shows we're working on that. Now I want to show you. You could also do it by swimmer. So let's take Paulina here. So if we click on Paulina, we're going to put her in the 50 free and the 500 free, just to be mean. Right? Jocelyn, 200 IM, 100 fly. Madeline. So you could enter, isn't it ridiculously easy?
It's that's nice. I like that.
Oh yeah. So again, you can do it by event or by roster. Okay. So going back here to entries, click on Lakeview. Now you're seeing this because again, I have the superpowers. So I'd be able to see the Latin schools entries, but when you log in, you would only see your entries. The buttons here, you could export them. You could export a roster. Let's go here, reports. I know a lot of times because I have to do meet entries for my team. We go through, here's what we're calling the matrix report. The events.
It's nice. And you can just download and print that if you need to.
Yep, exactly. One page, 2 pages, however big your team is, and they're able to see what they're entered in. Split sheets. If you're at a swim meet and want to create who's, you know, a notepad. So we give you split sheets for your meet. You can print that out, put it on your clipboard, and away you go. Now, heat sheets and timer sheets right now don't work. We have a meeting tomorrow morning about how to make those work. This thing is literally brand new, okay? And I want to get this going for you guys so that when you host a meet, you'd be able to print out a heat sheet, you know, hopefully like, you know, Lakeview and what's another school that doesn't have high tech in your league?
You could try like Mather. Yeah, Mather.
Yeah, so like if Mather came to your pool, Mather would do their entries on here, you do your entries on here. We're going to create another tab called seating based on the entries. And you wouldn't need to submit any files because all the entries are done here. And what we're going to have is basically, and it might not look like this. That's the thing about this. These guys change things all the time. But basically what's going to happen is you're at Lakeview and you're going to say, okay, yep, my entries are done. Click. Latin school's done. Great. Now we just create a heat sheet from all the entries that are produced right there. Okay.
And then it'll automatically, you know, create the heats based on the times if you put your okay.
based on some seating criteria that we put in. You know, one of the things that we need to account for based on the meeting with Kyle is, you know, the home team is going to be in lanes 1 through 3. The visiting teams are going to be 4, 5, 6 instead of evens and odds like we have been in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how that works. Now, when you go to, like, so you're going to attend this meet at Latin, you need to send them an entry file, right?
Yeah.
Export your entries. So your entries go to your download folder or wherever they get downloaded, and you just email this file to the host, and then they put it in Meet Manager, create the heat sheet, and everything goes like that. So you've basically just created the entry file without having to use Team Manager, Meet Manager, anything like that. All right from here. But what you'd want to do is when the event, you want to talk to the people at the Latin school and get the event file. And we'd want to actually upload the event file because are they going to give a JV event a different number? You know, because like what we do here is this is all basically open or varsity. You can change this to varsity, right? But, you know, maybe the odd events are JV. Maybe the even events are varsity. You know, we don't know that. So that's where if the Latin school is going to be running the meet off of high tech, you'd want to import the file this way. Okay. And we'd put those events out there based on what that is. And you would be able to do your entries instead of based off of these events, they would be, you know, JV, varsity, you know, whatever.
So yeah, I was wondering if we had to from that other page, I think it was the entry rules, or you have to like manually enter those. But yeah, if they have then that would be better.
Yeah. So that's kind of the key is figuring out what are the events and who's going to create the event. So in this case, since Latin school is going to be running with the timing system and Meet Manager, it would behoove you to get that entry file from them and simply upload it here and then create your entry based off of that. Right? Makes sense? Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is the process for what we call digitizing, and maybe we've got to come up with a better way for this. But let's just use this meet. I might have to go in and recreate this for you. So both teams, you know, let's say we're now at your pool. You're running a meet with timers and paper. Meet's over. You need to enter the results into the system. So I'm going to go back and sort of fake this out. I'm going to change the date on this meet so that I can show you what it looks like. I'm going to just say it was the 19th. And by doing so, we give you another button. See this called Digitize?
Yeah.
We don't give you the button because the meet hasn't happened yet. But once the meet happens, we give you the ability to digitize your results. So you take your timer sheets, you take whatever the heck it is that you have, coming back from the timers. And you go to your 200 free. Here was their seed time. Well, she actually went a 2:19:07. She went a 2:25:79. That's pretty awesome. And this young lady was disqualified.
Okay.
Here's the points.
Now those points are generated from just the improvement of their time, or is it actually from the meet itself?
From the meet itself.
Okay.
Where did it go? They moved it on me. There's a scoring system built in.
Oh, okay. So it's already, okay. That's great. Yeah.
And you can see here that you guys have scored 13 points. Now, let's go to 200 IM. Jocelyn is the only swimmer, quote unquote, entered that we did from our entry. On the fly, let's say we needed to add somebody else. Well, here, Rebecca from the Latin school swam. And you can just literally, because we know the rosters of your teams, we know who the teams are in the meet, we put them all up here. So who else did you have? There was Caitlin, Catherine, Latin school. Just start typing a few, words or letters, and they pop up. So literally just go right down through here, 200 IM. So 245.96. Down here, 235. Now watch this. So now it knows that this person beat this person. So 9 points to 4 points. This girl went 209.56, 943, and this girl got, she declared false start.
Okay.
You go through for all the events like that. When you're done with the meet, when you're done with all the digitizing here, you go to this back of the meet. See this lock button? The lock button is what says we're done. Post the scores, and then points will show up here. And then all those times that you entered will get posted to your swimmers' times. We'll create all the rankings, your team rankings, everything will be changed off of that. And it literally is as simple as that. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. And so let's see. Yeah, no, that's great. I think so. Then once we're done going in, if we don't have the timing system and we have to do the timers and paper, then we'll manually enter in those results, and then we can go back here and just press lock. Okay.
The other way is through the results button. Like when you go to Latin here, they're going to have a results file. So there's a couple different ways that you can upload that results file right here, or you could email it into us and we'll parse it and project it that way. Okay. So any meet that you attend at a school that has a timing system, that's going to create a result file. Just make sure that you or the host team sends the result file to us. Any meet that you attend that does not have a timing system, Kyle would like to have the results digitized in here this way so that he can keep track, because I know, again, the Chicago Park District is using SwimCloud. The Chicago Public Schools wants to use SwimCloud, with the ultimate goal of getting more and more Chicago swimmers to keep swimming through high school, hopefully into college, and just for the betterment of the, you know, the sport and the kids as a whole, right? To give them the idea and something to shoot for. Because I got to tell you,
exactly,
anybody that wants to swim in college can. They really can. It's remarkable. A couple other.
So so the swimmer. Speaking of that, like that swimmer that you had clicked on, Makia, she was the one that had inquired about college. So getting recruitment, but we, like you said, we can for the next meeting talk about that.
Yeah, I've got about. I could go on for over an hour on the college recruiting process. But what Makia can do is just make sure that she claims her profile and just gets all of her times in there. And that's a great way to start. Is she a club swimmer as well?
She actually swims for the Latin Club, yeah.
She does? Okay, great. Hopefully.
And she don't even know that because she just assumed that because you come in there. Because I don't talk to her about nothing. Because I don't trust her.
So.
Well, they don't have it. They don't have any of their results in there right now. Lakeview's the only team that we have.
But that's why she thinks. Her. It's the same reason why she.
All right.
She told you she think I'm trying to fight her.
Okay.
Because she knows she be doing shit.
Manage.
You know I be pointing.
Everything happens in the manage button and then in the meets. So I'm going to go in here when we're done. And that was what day was that supposed to be, Stephen?
The 24th of September.
8/24. All right. I'll go through and I'll get rid of all those entries. I might just delete the meet and restart it for you to get rid of all this data. But another thing that's kind of handy, maybe not so much for dual meets, but if you ever get into like conference, we have the emails. Again, this is really handy for Chicago Public Schools because all of you guys are in here. So here's.
I wouldn't say that you was out.
Yeah, so that's our assistant too. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you gotta think
Latin must not have coaches in here yet.
I'm not sure. Well, I don't think Latin is in the. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
When Cece was going to court, and they go around, she was a temp in the office.
Oh, they're not.
So she know like.
Are they not? They're not CPS, are they?
No, they're not.
Yeah. So right now they don't have any coaches. Yeah, they don't have any coaches listed.
You know it's a lie because every time you come to me, what do you say? I don't understand why y'all can't.
Sorry, James. I had to mute you there. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions, Stephen, or?
I think actually, so the meets that I set up for the season, will I have to go to each meet and then click, since we're not able to host any meets this year because we have a 20-yard pool. So will I have to go to that permissions button and say, like,
it depends. That's a tricky question. It all depends on. Since you're probably not going to be hosting any of them, you don't necessarily need to worry about that button as far as who can manage the meet, right? That doesn't necessarily matter. What I would say that matters for you is to talk to these schools and figure out, is it a timing system or is it going to be on, stopwatches and paper? If it's a timing system, you're going to want to make sure you go into that meet and then upload that event file. Like I've shown you here, to import an event file this way. So that way, when you do your entries and submit them, it can just be imported right into that timing system and then away we go. Okay.
Okay.
And I think I've got in taking that question and thinking about how CPS is going to work, I probably need to come up with kind of like a one sheeter about kind of the different ways to go about doing it. You know, now if you are attending a meet where, again, no timing system, then one or both of the coaches needs to figure out, okay, who's going to be entering the meet results, what event file, or how are we going to set up our events? Are we just going to run them all open, or are we going to run JV and varsity? Are we going to, you know, what's going to be our protocol here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Kyle has if Kyle has just a standard dual meet template that, you know, all of you guys could have and could just be uploaded at that point, then it's super easy for you when you go through and do your, you know, select your roster and do your entries. You're done.
Okay.
Joseph, any questions from you or James?
Not right off.
Okay.
The one thing was on working when we do the tri meets.
Yeah.
Now, how would that be inputted?
So it'd be the same way. You would just
Same
have,
way.
yeah, you just have
had that other team.
Yeah, there'd be 3 teams here. And then when you go and enter your results, there'd be 3 teams in there, or 3 ways to select it.
Yeah, I think I tried to enter. I had a couple meets where it was tri meets, so I think I entered in. I was able to enter into 3 teams. I think we have one. I think that's against Whitney and Taft, and so I think I was able to just put both of them in there, and then set the host school to Whitney.
Yep. Lakeview, North Grand, Mather. Lakeview, Juarez, Lincoln Park, Prosser, Mather.
Okay.
Yeah. All of those. Whitney Young, Lakeview, Taft. No, Stephen, looks like you did a great job getting this stuff set up. There's just, like I said, the one extra step that you're going to want to have is figure out what event file is going to be used, or what's the order of events, so that when you go in and enter, you can enter your kids and submit an entry file, so that you don't have to give that host team a list on paper like you've probably done in the past, and then they have to go in and create it, right? Yeah. No more.
That's going to save a whole lot of time, and that'll just be very efficient.
I can't imagine. Not like that, a couple days beforehand, you'd be able to print out that matrix report and go over it with your swimmers or captains, or however your team, you know, does is going to do their entries and figure out what they want to swim. You know, I just find this really, really, really handy if you had a whole, you know, big team worth of entries, and especially now that kids are going to have 4 individual events, you know, this could be really, really helpful. All right.
Okay.
Again, I think that pretty well covers what I had wanted, you know, entering in the manual results, online meet entries, which we kind of covered for Stephen. Joseph, what kind of setup do you guys have?
Well, for right now, we're just doing stopwatches and, you know.
Okay.
But we do have a system, but right now it's been, by the past 2 years, the starting system is just kaput. So
gone, huh?
Yeah, well, and then the year before we sent the other one, our Colorado, in to get fixed, and that was $4,000, and they had a baby about it. So yeah, we had to send it to Colorado to get it fixed.
Yeah.
And that was $4,000, and I came up last year with the starter. They said we ain't got that kind of money no more, so they didn't want to do it. So I started doing stopwatches.
So Joseph, do you use Team Manager then to create an entry file?
No, I don't. I
just buy pen and paper.
Only on only when we used to do the championships. That was the only time I used Team Manager.
Well, Joseph, like Steven here, you can use, everything on SwimCloud. You'll be able to create a meet entry file right online. You don't have to worry about anything. There's no cost. It's there, and all the data is there too. And it gets really easy. It gets super easy. The more data we have, one of the options, again, the more data we have, one of the options is we'll create a lineup for you.
Yeah, because last year I tried a SwimCloud, and what was happening, I couldn't get no entries in as far as rostering. I got everything in, but I couldn't get the rosters in.
Yeah, because you probably, did you see how we added people to the roster here?
Mm-hmm. And the manage.
Yeah. Because swimmers get created from results, and if you don't have any result files because you don't have, high tech, then that creates a problem.
Right. Is there going to be in the future? Is there going to be in the future a way that if we have any questions, we could just go ahead and ask? Like.
Yeah, just ask me.
Just ask you.
Yeah. Just ask me, and I'll do my best to cover them all. It should be. We're trying to make this just as intuitive and as simple as we possibly can. Kind of like if you Google search or Google Maps, it just becomes intuitive. So hopefully after I've gone over.
What happened that they changed our system at the school, so they gave us a new computer, and everything I had in there was gone. So I had to start everything all over again. When I started everything all over again, I kept on asking me about this and this and that. And it wouldn't let me get in. So
yeah. So with SwimCloud being online, it doesn't matter if it's just a browser. Use your SwimCloud login, and you'll be able to manage your team from your phone, your work computer, or at home, wherever you got internet.
Okay.
And then when you're done coaching your team and moving on to bigger and brighter things, the person coming after you will have all the data right there. Oftentimes people use Team Manager and it sits on their computer because it's not networked.
Right.
And it sounds like that's what happened to you, Joseph. The guy just somebody just left, or the computer stopped working.
Yeah, well, every time we used to get it, I had to do a Team Manager all over again, get that Team Manager Lite, and had to input everything back all over again.
Awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah.
No, it's all right here.
I didn't save anything. I didn't save anything at all.
Yeah. No, that's one of the benefits of having this, is that it's all there, and it's not going to go away.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, save my email address. Hit me with any questions. I'm going to put this, I've recorded this. I'll put it out on YouTube. I'll make kind of a process sheet now that in talking with Stephen and now a little bit with you, Joseph, just about some of the considerations about it, if the host is, and if not, what to do. And I'm going to be doing more of these. Some coaches wanted some in the morning, so I hazard a guess I'm going to do 2 or 3 more of these things. And as you get into it, and if something comes up, just reach out. All right.
Okay,
guys.
All right.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I just want to chime in. This is James from Chicago, Phillips High School. This is actually my first year coaching.
All right.
I did the boys season, so a lot of the I did the SwimCloud. It was one of those, is a high tech. One of them that requires you to actually have to buy the software.
Yeah, that's high tech.
Yeah, that's high tech.
Okay. But everything else I did the SwimCloud for my first. I kind of played with it because our swim coach left and went overseas, moved to Thailand. So, it left me fending for myself. But for the first year, my first season, which was the boys season, I did extremely well, but it's still all new to me.
Well, we're here to help you, man.
Well, it's almost new to a lot of us.
We're here to help.
It's all new to me. So upon return, you know, I'm going back in, you know, the principal was impressed, you know what I'm saying, that I was able to get the students actually involved. So it'd be me going in again, creating a program and, you know, keeping the program going.
Sure.
I was looking at listening to what you guys was talking about, even with the heat sheet. I created that manually.
Did you really? That's a lot of work.
I created my heat sheet manually. In fact, Kyle was like, you know, impressed. He was shocked. You know, he asked me what did I use to create it. I told him I did it myself. So, yeah.
Hopefully you can use our tools and save a lot of time so you can spend more time with your kids.
I will. I'm going to look into it in depth, especially while we're in this remote system.
Yeah, get them the attention they need. So again, hey guys, I'm going to put together, I'll put a date or a couple dates out there where maybe we can get your swimmers to log on and I can actually take and show them the recruiting tools and some of the other things that they can be doing. And it's all free. I mean, it's really, really cool. We're here to help swimmers, teams, you know, conferences do well. So, all right.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, take care, everybody.
All right.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Scott.